this camera's on fire.
So,
in the car!
So I know you can't see, but I have like the camera case on top of the camera to act as like some kind of a sun shelter shade.
Yeah.
So hopefully that won't work. So hopefully that will work, because when we were doing the Looney Tunes, Space Jam, New Legacy, that's what happened.
Yeah.
The moisture, the heat just got to, it's like, hot, cannot continue filming. Because cameras do that sometimes, they have like a motion sensory thing that prevents them from going haywire.
Yeah.
Or over frying. Speaking of malfunctions, if things went well, I would have been a little smart alecky and started this review. Oh, to make sure. Okay, you're in frame. I would have started this review by saying, well, compared to Dollman, what'd you think of Doctor Strange 2? But thanks to what happened during the 3D screening, we have a better introduction.
Yeah, so it was playing the sound, like the music and background noises during, like, you know, the stuff, like before the previews. Some of the commercials were kind of being weird. We were just playing the music but no dialogue. And then one of the things was about, like, silencing your phone, so we thought it's like, oh, well, it must be a take on that. And then the trailer started, and it was doing with some of the trailers, so it's like, okay, I don't think this is supposed to happen. So he ran out of the theater to go let them know.
I went to the lobby, I said, there's something wrong in Theater 5. We're getting score, we're getting sound effects, but there's no dialogue. And the only time the dialogue did happen was when there was, like, a rumble or a reverb of said dialogue. Yeah. And so I went out there first time, came back in, and then afterwards I was still doing the same thing, and I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just the mixing on the 3D, because when they play the Avatar 2 trailer, I remember distinctly there was only one piece of dialogue that's spoken. So I thought, okay, maybe it's just the print. Maybe it's the fact that the switching from different audio systems from the two-dimensional trailers and the 3D trailers.
Yeah.
We originally were going to do the 3D screening. But no, when they started playing the movie, we could faintly hear dialogue. It was just playing sound effects and audio.
Well, the movie at first did have dialogue.
It did.
And then it
just
started
peeking in and out, in and out.
So he already saw the movie, so he was just trying to narrate what was going on, and then...
It's by David Attenborough.
Yeah, and then eventually one of the theater workers came in and said that, you know, we can just do the 2D showing because it's playing at the same time. So after that, you know, we can enjoy it.
We were fine with that.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, we got the manager up there. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They've tried different scenarios, and in order to work around that, we're going to have to, like, restart the whole movie and maybe go from there. But thankfully, they had a regular 2D screening of the movie that was concurrently playing at the same time.
Yeah.
So we didn't miss too much. It was right before they were jumping into the multiverse, so the timing could not have been perfect.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we can give it like reviews and stuff. I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah,
we can live without.
Yeah,
I got a free ticket on my like membership, so I can
and you know it happens. But yeah.
I felt bad because for the 3D looked fine.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like popping unless it got to the later scenes where you saw like sheet music flying around, but it looked decent for what it was, and that's as far as I can say for the first 10 minutes of a 3D film.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts on the movie?
Okay, I've seen it before. It was a Mother's Day early gift I did for Mom, and for my first watch, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a great, fun flick, great start to the summer for what it is. I know I'm probably going to sound like a broken record by the end of like year number 6 or 7 of doing these vlogs. I used to be like really big into Marvel movies. Now it's kind of like, well, it doesn't have to feel like an obligation so much.
Yeah.
Because it just depends on what's of interest. And I wanted to see what they were going to do with the second Doctor Strange. And when I heard Sam Raimi was on board, I'm like, oh, this could be kind of interesting. He's done some superhero films before. And so to see him return to that was pretty unique, but adding on to the fact that he's a major enthusiast of Doctor Strange, that really kicked up a little bit. Okay, I'm actually a little curious to see what he could do, given what they did with the first one. This feels like a straight-up Sam Raimi movie, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did it get weird in times? Yeah, a little too weird, but the second time around, it kind of helped it a little bit. There is still some gripes and issues I do have, but they're not like, they don't bring the movie down too much.
Yeah.
It's still a fun roller coaster film. I feel bad for my mother because when we went to see it, it was like a really packed crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to find seating and everything, and we were up in like the third or front row or so. So we're down right here, screens up here. She almost got motion sickness at a couple of points, but she managed to hold on pretty fine. But seeing it another time with you, my dear, I can definitely say it has a lot of replay value to it.
Yeah.
Especially the possibilities, the different worlds, and some of the small gags here and there. So I'd say it's certainly a fun trip.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fun movie. It wasn't my favorite movie. I did like No Way Home a lot better. But this was, it was definitely a fun Sam Raimi movie. Like, the effects, it was really brutal. Like,
for PG-13.
Yeah, because there were some scenes, like some
scenes
PG-13. I was kind of like, are you sure this is PG-13? Because it's probably because they didn't show blood.
No,
I mean, they did show some blood, and some scenes it was more like you know what happens, but they don't show it, but it's heavily implied what happened.
Like, without giving too much away, it's like a minor level of gore. It's like,
yeah,
it's Temple of Doom with the heart.
Yeah,
out, but it's like, it's not like, it's not really focused too much. It's not super, super gory, but it might be a little intense. I wish you were there at that early screening, because there was a kid behind me, just 2 rows up. When it came to the I heard one little, like, 9 or 10-year-old go, damn!
I think I did that.
It was so beautifully timed.
I think I did that.
There's a kid here!
Yeah, well, I did that a few times myself when we were watching. You probably heard me. I'm like,
I loved it.
Damn.
I loved it. When I knew something was gonna... I saw it bad. So when I knew something, like, brutally violent, not too brutally violent, but just like, oh my goodness, they put an eye drop of this gore in.
Yeah, and then,
I'm looking out of the corner of my eye and just see it going,
well, there's something that happens with one of the characters where, in reality, he should have been dead, but he ended up not dying, and I even said right before the reveal, it's like, oh god, if they show that he's alive, I'm going to scream, and then they showed he was alive, so I did a silent.
I'm going to get my cotton balls.
Because when we were doing the 3D showing, we were the only ones in the theater, but when we did when we had to move to the 2D showing, we weren't, so if we were the only 2 in the theater, I definitely would have screamed. But in a joking way.
But then the projections look over, oh, I don't get it, the sound's already fixed. I feel so bad for them. That's like, they gave us the 3D print, might as well screen it, and I know why, and we'll get to that when we get to that in non-spoiler sense.
Yeah.
How do you feel Doctor Strange came, given his progressing character arc since the last one?
Well, I feel like with each movie that he's in, he does get better. I mean, he still has his moments, because I honestly felt like he was a real jerk in No Way Home. But, you know, I felt like this movie helped him get past his own inner demons, and I felt like it really worked.
I do like how they go into that, the fact that he doesn't know what is the right direction to go into, especially with lines like, oh, you strangers are the same. It's like, it's kind of interesting seeing how, even though they're in different multiple universes, it's still the same path in a way. It's the same character making the same choice. But
he does break away in some ways.
He does. And I love how they build up on that.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of the weird Raimi-isms they do in the second half.
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely. Like, the second half, you're like, yep, this is definitely a Raimi film. We should have watched Army of Darkness prior, because there were some shots near the end that did remind me of that a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that one wasn't really a favorite of mine, but I do like I liked Evil Dead 2.
I thought you said you didn't see Army of Darkness.
I didn't, but my sister pretty much told me everything that happened. Because, well, if I'm not interested in a movie, I'm just going to have someone tell me.
But it's a fun one with the little tiny...
I know, but from what she told me, it's not... I don't think it's something I would like. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I did like Evil Dead 2. That was pretty good. I think it was more like because of how she described his character in Army of Darkness.
I see what you're getting
That's what kind of turned me off from it. Cause
I thought you thought it was beautiful once, and then you got real ugly.
Yeah. So.
Maybe the director's cut might be better.
Maybe.
There's a dark ending, but I don't want to spoil it. This is the one thing I was curious to know, because you saw WandaVision and I didn't. So you have a much more better understanding of Scarlet Witch and what she was going through.
Yeah. I'm not surprised the path she went down in this movie, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I will say, at least she holds herself accountable in the end.
I mean, her motives do make sense.
Well, they make sense, but this is the arc of Wanda throughout the entire MCU. She's not held accountable for her actions. Like in Ultron, the only reason why her and her brother switched sides was because they realized they were going to be collateral damage. And then in WandaVision, at this point, I'm going to assume that everyone's watched WandaVision, so if you haven't, you might want to mute this right now. But,
okay.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I already know what happens anyway.
But she holds an entire town hostage. She doesn't realize it at first, but then when she realizes it, she keeps doing it by saying, it's like, oh, you guys are happy, although she's like mind controlling them and they're being tortured. So the path that she goes down in this movie, I was not surprised. But I will say Elizabeth Olsen is amazing as the Scarlet Witch and Wanda.
Oh, wow. Her performance.
Yeah, she was fantastic in this. I don't think this is the last we're going to see of Wanda Maximoff. I don't think it's going to be the last we see of her.
Well, the way Sam Raimi ended it, anything he brings is up too. He didn't want to end it in a way where it's like, no, it's going to conclude this. No, he wanted, like, the door still open. And I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
Because I can definitely leave either him or someone else to come in and say, okay, where can we pick up this part from here? Especially given everything that happens in the movie.
Yeah.
And where it goes from here. Her performance was great.
Yes.
I liked her as Scarlet Witch, and when she's Wanda in another point of the film, without going too much, I like that duality. How you have this version of her and that version of her.
Yeah.
And how they work in together, and this one wants to be that version, but it's impossible, and she sees the ramifications of what she was trying to go for.
Yeah.
And I think the way they do that is not only emotionally solid, but good God, it makes her out to be a really good Shakespearean villain. She's not malicious. She's antagonistic, and that's what I like.
And you can feel bad for her.
She's just literally tearing the universe a new one just so she can have this fantasy that someone else is living. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I do feel like they could have done a little bit more with the multiverse.
Yeah.
Because I can see why some people were kind of annoyed. Because it's called the Multiverse of Madness, and yes, they go into other universes, but they mostly just stay in, like, this one.
Two,
well, two, but you know what I mean. Like, I felt like they could have they could have kind of did what Space Jam did.
Where they jump from one area
and then have them go to the one that they end up staying in.
Yeah.
But aside, that's just me nitpicking.
That's one.
It was a good sequel, and it was a good Marvel movie. It's not my favorite one, though.
I think this is one I'm definitely going to enjoy seeing if it's on television or so.
Yeah.
There are some stuff I do find memorable from it. For what it is, it's got the action, the right heart. There are some really good set-piece scenes that do make me recommend it really well.
And I would rewatch it, especially seeing the first part.
Which was a silent movie.
Yeah.
In this scene, this is happening and that's happening. He makes a crack she makes a crack. He mentions, oh yeah, this happened to Spider-Man too. Spider-Man, what does he shoot webs from his butt? No, he doesn't do that. Oh yeah, that was what I tried to get that joke in, but there was so much they were explaining that I had to lean and elaborate. Okay, this scene's happening, that scene's happening.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, there's a subtitle there. Yeah, it's just for a small jagged reveal that Strange doesn't speak Spanish. Oh, it's one more thing too. What do you think of the girl America and her power to jump from one universe to the next?
That is interesting, and I like that her portal is a star. Of course, they name her America, and then her jacket is literally covered in stars, and it's like, wow, really like driving it home that her name is America.
I'm surprised you didn't pick up on the LGBTQ flag that's...
I caught that too.
Oh, okay.
And that she had two mothers, which was nice. I'm sure all the homophobes are like, ah!
This is why I love being with you. Not since Stallman have I seen stellar acting.
Yeah, it was. I liked her character. I hope we get to see her some more.
I would be curious to see what they can do with that. Even, again, there's so much open-endedness. in a sense.
Yeah.
As far as like pairing young character with old character, it works with that dynamic.
Yeah. And I like that he's like a mentor to her. And they have a good relationship in the movie.
Yeah, and I also like some of the nods to other Sam Raimi films too. Like,
yeah.
There's a little Evil Dead 2 at one point. There's one cameo in particular that I really, really love because it's not a Sam Raimi film without this guy.
Yes. It worked. I was surprised that his brother didn't make a cameo.
It's over.
Because, like, in the Spider-Man movies, his brother, who played Joxer in Xena, I think cameoed a couple of times.
Ted Raimi.
I think Lucy Lawless cameoed in one of the Spider-Man movies. So, I was looking out for those two, but maybe the next one. I'm hoping Sam Raimi does more movies, because his movies are so much fun, and I hope he does more Marvel movies. Bring back Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, cough, cough, and Andrew Garfield, cough, cough. You can do like a buddy cop movie about the two Spider-Men, where it's just them swinging through different universes.
You never know.
Yeah.
Could be possible. So, trailers?
So, the first trailer was...
on mute, like the other two.
Yeah, it was the Lightyear trailer, which I've already seen that trailer. It's better than the first trailer they had. It annoys me that people keep saying, oh, it's a prequel to Toy Story. It's like, it's not a prequel. He's not a toy.
No.
He's not a toy! He's not made of plastic. He's made of flesh. He is a real thing.
Now, this is where you take your 3D glasses off.
You're supposed to say I'm a sad, strange little woman.
Oh, no.
Well, maybe someone in the comments will. But, it was...
Dear Mr. Morgan and Megan, your girlfriend is sad and strange.
Your girlfriend is in that job. Like,
so am I.
It's not in the...
I don't know how to feel about this.
Pretty much, I see it as, it's like a movie, it's Universeception. So in Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear is, supposed to be like a cartoon or something. I'm seeing it as, in the Toy Story universe, this is like a darker tone of Buzz Lightyear for the adults,
Rumor mill says that the way the movie opens, and again, don't quote me on this, is that, they show like a clip of Andy playing with a Buzz Lightyear, and he's like, this is Andy and his Buzz Lightyear. This was his reaction after seeing the movie he saw in theaters, and this is the movie you're about to see, or something like that. It's like, it's an interesting idea, but I don't know. There's something about this movie that doesn't...
It was a rumor, though.
Supposedly, but I'm not, jumping on and confirming it, that supposedly this is the movie from that universe of Toy Story that Andy saw that got him into Buzz Lightyear. Kind of like how people got into Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah, it may be like the cartoon show is based off of the movie. But the way I see it, it's a movie within the Toy Story universe, but, kind of doing its own thing. I don't see this Buzz as the toy Buzz. He's a completely different entity.
I'm still holding on until I see the three-eyed aliens.
Yeah. I mean, it does look interesting. The teaser trailer that my sister and I saw for it, we didn't really care much for, the one with the Starman song. But this one does look more interesting. I'm still a little iffy about it, but I am curious to see it.
I'm a little iffy as well, but at the same time, I don't quite know how to feel about it. I understand it's being an alternative universe, kind of Buzz Lightyear in a sense, and okay, fine. It just doesn't look that appealing.
Yeah.
And maybe I know I shouldn't say that because we had the same, not exactly, but we were a little iffy about turning red, but that turned out to be fine.
Yeah, that was really good.
Because there were some elements we were able to connect to and stuff. This is just Pixar trying to do this giant sci-fi... I don't know, it's just some of the color schemes and the designs just don't look interesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't look fun. And it's it's like, they're making it look like it's fun, it's grungy, it's dirty, they're going on these... It's like, honey, let's pop in Star Wars tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just, you have him controlling the spaceship from E.T. in there, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It just looks way too weird for my taste.
Yeah.
He's paired with a Robo Kitty, it's like...
Yeah. I don't know, it might surprise us. The other trailer they showed was Avatar 2, which
no, before that it was Thor. It was Thor. Love
Oh yes,
Thunder.
yes, Thor: Love and Thunder. Again, I saw that trailer.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, I saw that trailer before going to this movie, and that looks like fun. I'm curious to see how Natalie Portman's character becomes female Thor. And it is his original hammer, because you can see it's like fixed.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's like, how did she come across that?
I'm reserving judgment because, again, I'm a little selective on which MCU movies I'm wanting to see. That's one where it's like, the Thor films have been pretty hit and miss. When I found out that Takata, the director of Thor Ragnarok, was helming this one, I'm kind of like, I'm not really a big fan of the director's humor.
Oh, you didn't like Ragnarok?
No.
I actually really liked it, so I'll probably like it.
I don't know. That one was way too weird for my taste.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't mind seeing it. That's the thing, you know? That's the idea of, opinions, really.
Yeah.
I'm more intrigued of what you think. You're more intrigued of what I think.
Yeah.
It's just, there were so many weird turns with Ragnarok. Like, first it started off interesting and serious, and then Thor gets jettisoned to this other planet with a city run by Jeff Goldblum, and he's doing gladiator Roman battles with Hulk. It just got way too strange at times. My God, the scenery's in the chair, and they play the Willy Wonka pure imagination thing. They do the tunnel thing.
Yeah, they had me laughing.
And had me going, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. And then the final trailer we saw was Avatar 2, which I never cared for Avatar 1, so I mean, if you want to go and watch it, that's fine. And I will see it with you if you insist we watch it, but it's not one I care about. Because I did not like...
I don't blame you.
The first Avatar was over-glorified. Fern Gully, Pocahontas in space. And it's like, if I want to watch a good James Cameron movie, I'll pop in Terminator 2 or Titanic.
Or you can just put The Abyss and Fern Gully, watch them at the same time. No, I take that back. You can get The Abyss and the rare 1991 At Play in the Fields of the Lore. Watch them on 2 screens back to back. They're almost 3 hours long, and you can see that they're both Avatar 2.
And that in the trailer just kind of makes it look like it's a rehash of the first movie.
It does.
It looks like... I feel like that Office meme. It's the same thing. That's what it looks like.
It gets better. Oh boy, I can't wait to hear your reaction to this one. This is like a blink and miss moment, but turns out they brought back Stephen Lang, the evil military guy.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, how? Because didn't he die in the first one?
We're gonna take his brain and clone it into a blue avatar. Well, that goes against his nature of the original character.
What's his character's name again?
The bad guy from Avatar?
Okay, so...
That's what I call him, the bad guy from Avatar.
Okay, so I'm going to make a Star Wars...
That's what Pee Wee Herman said.
I'm going to make a joke. Somehow, the bad guy from Avatar returned. Somehow, Palpatine returned. Ultimate power. I will make clones of myself. Who the fuck are you?
I am just looking forward to the mass of fans and enthusiasts that are going to jump on this and say, this is what we were waiting for. And then when it comes out, I can't wait. If this is a success, I'm going to be like, huh, well, that doesn't surprise me at all. And if it's a failure, I'm just going to go, well, that didn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. This is a way too late sequel. It's like, the graphics look fine, but you gotta have a strong story to go with it.
Yeah.
I only know is that the focus is going to be more on Jake's children, and they're going to explore more of the planet and go underwater. All the power to you, that's fine. But here's the problem. That was 2009. We were in college. I remember we saw that. We were like, 3D nice, but... movie good, question mark?
I mean, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't awful.
It was pretty much. It was one that my family wanted to watch it, and I'm like, okay, you guys have fun. I'm just gonna stay down in my room, because this was back when I still lived with my parents.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't a movie I cared for.
No. First time was fine. Replay value was just like...
Yeah. Like, I could rewatch Doctor Strange, but not this.
At least the 3D looked okay.
Yeah.
Until the audio kicked out from the movie. I feel bad for those theater patrons.
Well,
I really do.
It was out of their control.
I know.
I'm not,
I know. I'm not gonna.
We're not gonna be a couple of
rave.
Karens that go, we want our money back.
No. They're just providing entertainment.
Yeah.
The best they can. I have high respect. That's not the first nor the last time I've had situations like that once in a while. Oh, brother, did I tell you about when I went to Florida and it was me, Mike, Sarah, and Dan, and we went to see Finding Dory?
Yes, you did. You told me about that.
Oh, and they played the wrong movie.
Yeah.
So for a while it was Central Intelligence. And I knew that because the minute I saw the logo and I heard never gonna get it, I'm like, oh my god, I remember this from the trailer of Central Intelligence. This is, oh god, no. And I raced out, told him, we're supposed to be watching Finding Dory, you're playing the wrong movie. So for a couple of split seconds, some kids saw, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna spare you.
Oh.
Because in the movie, they start with a flashback with obese Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the gym showers, like singing "Never Gonna Get It, Never Gonna Get It." So of course they're gonna show a shot of his rear end in a PG-13 fashion, nonetheless.
Well, I mean, they used to show butts in cartoons all the time.
Oh,
I don't know why they blur it out now. Like, for the longest time, it was like cartoons like in the 40s, 50s, and 60s were like obsessed with showing parents spanking their kids.
It
okay.
was the time.
Yeah. I mean, now, I don't think they really do that now.
No.
So, Texas Roadhouse?
Let's.